Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the 07's engine. I alluded to it before. Here is our 6.7 block. Picked this one up from eBay. Engine core seller, whatever, 750 bucks shipped. Great deal. Issue we had was it wouldn't clean up even at 20 overbore. So I reached out to some people that are smarter than me on sleeving. So what we have is power bore sleeved 6.7. If you notice here, cylinders 1 and 6 are the sleeved ones. I did not sleeve all of them. You can kind of see the faint outline. Again, this is a flanged seal standard bore, so 4-2-10 from power bore. I hope it works out good. I kind of got some conflicting advice from a couple of guys out in Ohio, but we'll see. The whole goal with this is like 1400 horsepower, capable on the chassis dyno, and hopefully tows really well. For pistons, we have the 1920 piston bowl. So these are a lot higher compression. Meyer's going to go ahead and knock out some valve reliefs for us. I'll kind of try to get some videos of that at a later time. And just our factory ring set. So you got your Keystone top ring, then your traditional second and third ring. Not pictured here, but we do have the old blown up ones from the 05. This is the factory pin. These ones work pretty good. I've seen them deflect and gall at the higher horsepower, like 1500. So we went ahead and upgraded to trend DLC coated tool steel wrist pins. They work really good. These ones survived the blow up, actually 2 blow ups. So they work really well, which leads me into the next thing. We have our set of Waggler billet rods. These are their standard length actual billet ones. Again, 1/2 inch rod bolt L19. They have the really nice rod end bushing in them. 3 of them survived the 05's explosion, and luckily Austin was nice enough to get us set up with a replacement 3. Moving on, we have a new set of ARP 625s. You can reuse them, but Meyer is trying to build a race truck, so we decided to sell him the used set that were in there and get a new set. We have our ARP 14 mil main studs. This is one of those tricks that I don't want to say like I figured out, but between my 12 valve days and common rail days, what I use is a 14 mil stud out of a 12 valve. Here's the part number. So again, you can see 89 to 97. This is going to be your 14 mil mains. They work really well in absence of a girdle. You do lose the factory block stiffener, but 14 mil mains, in my opinion, have much more clamping force than even like a 12 millimeter girdle. And these studs cost 270 bucks. A girdle is almost 1,000. So to me, it's a no-brainer. For the camshaft, we're going to use a set of Hamilton cast 1.45 inch tappets. We have our Hamilton 188-220 cast cam. No hard feelings with those guys. I do still like their camshafts. We have a set of DDP 0304 because we are running the 6.7 piston bowl design with a 5.9 ECM. We went with the 0304. That's the 143 pattern. It works really well on the 6.7 style bowl. So we have a set of 150% overs from them. To go along, we're going to reuse the fueling for that we currently have, the 12 mil and that ATS dual fueler kit. Couple of the other parts that we picked up, we have PPE makes replacement 5.9 rails. I really was just curious how well they were and if they were worth anything. Kind of gonna do some product testing for you guys because this is a newer product from them. So we're gonna test it out, put a new rail on there. As far as cylinder heads go, we have our blown up 05 head. We're gonna steal these Manton valve springs, and then we have one of the ported heads from PDD. These flow quite a bit more, so I'm excited to give that a shot. We have the 05's old fluid damper we're gonna put on with the max power kit and the washers. We're gonna save the new one for the deck plate engine and just reuse this one. Got a little bit of damage on the tone ring, but I think it'll work just fine. We got a Cummins oil pump. This is the marine style one with the black gears. Something I picked up from a couple people's Instagram pages. careful what you post. I might be able to find that part number, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, guys, we're gonna do 6-7 rocker arms with the upgraded trunnions, power driven push rods, and factory oil pan. Nothing too crazy. Oh, and a fire ring gasket. We will go into cutting the fire rings. We're gonna do half in the block, half in the head, and it'll be a Hazley fire ring gasket. That way I don't have to worry about depths and stuff like that. Factory motor mounts that we're gonna refresh. And Mantley valve bridges. We're gonna go ahead and do that. That is these pieces right here. What they say is the factory valve bridge will actually kind of spread. So with this reinforced on the bottom here, it prevents premature valve guide wear. And then also on the 6-7 rockers, this is the updated design from Cummins. You can see here they added the oil holes here, and I mean these came out of the 05. You can see not really much galling for how much RPM these saw. These are a really nice upgrade. Power driven sells them. Pretty much anybody, any company really sells them these days. So we're gonna go ahead and give those a shot. And last but certainly not least, because this is a tow truck, we're gonna pull the 05's old fleece coolant bypass and put that on the back of the engine. What's nice about these, I don't know if they're the best for race trucks. I think there's a little bit of weight and another potential leak, but on a vehicle that might have to tow, getting the coolant out from an alternative point, I feel like does add quite a bit of value. And the only changes we're gonna make on the turbo setup, we're gonna keep the same 467, 488. I really want to back it, not only for your guys' sake, but also for my sake, and kind of show you the difference of a 6.7 versus a 5.9. It's gonna be kind of skewed because we have a ported head and a cam, but kind of see how it moves stuff around on the dyno, where it makes peak torque, peak horsepower, how long it spools up. And then we are going to add a steed speed gated manifold. That's really the only change on the turbo system. Eventually we'll graduate to the next step up. But yeah, that's kind of what we got going on with this. The next few episodes sprinkled in here, we're gonna go everything from cleaning your block to cutting the fire rings. I'm gonna kind of try to do my best to get you guys through measuring. We have dial bore gauge, T-bar gauges, and inside mics. So I'm gonna try to give you guys somewhere to start on how to measure a block correctly to make sure you have the right clearance. And then at the end, I'll probably cover plasti gauge because I feel like 90% of the people only know how to use plasti gauge. So we'll go over that as well. And basically, I'm not sure how many episodes, 3, maybe 4, and walk you guys through how to build one of these. I did it a lot earlier in my career or tenure, and it was a little rough. The camera footage was kind of crappy, and I've learned a lot since then. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this series as we build this engine. And we'll end off with probably a hot retorque. I want to cover cam break-in, how to degree your camshaft, how to check piston and valve clearance. A lot of these questions that when I was working sales and tech support, you guys had of how do I do this, how do I do that, and hopefully make a great resource for you guys to come back. Hopefully this wasn't too boring for you guys. Hopefully you liked this video. Go ahead and drop a comment, and I will see you guys on the next one.